4 fois quoi. COSAFA Cup has reached its business end. The tail of the tape reads Namibia versus Seychelles, second against third in Group C. The future for both hangs in the balance. It will either be an early flight home or an opening of a door that could lead to stardom and success. For the opportunity to be crowned a COSAFA Cup king is an opportunity worth sacrificing a whole lot for. From the shifting sand dunes of Swakopmund's Skeleton Coast to the picturesque and postcard scenery of Praline Island, a whole host of eyes will be locked onto this matter, a matter of national pride and national interest. The brave warriors, dressed in red and green, have journeyed down south for a solitary purpose, and that is to make a raucous on South African soil. Khozakele is the rendezvous point. Namibia and Seychelles are the rainmakers, the main attraction of the town for today. Now for one final time at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium, let's hear the national anthems. Namibia, land of the brave, and Koste Seselwa, Seychelles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Namibia. And now, the national anthem of Seychelles.
The relentless rush, the chest-rattling roar, and the steady gaze of veterans, along with the pressure of the badge on the heart. Those are all the telltale signs of a cross-border duel and a COSAFA Cup contest. Strap in for the final gripping group stage brawl. Namibia versus Seychelles is the headline. But who is to write the ending of this thrilling group? Both nations are smitten with the prospect of gaining a seat in the Final Four. The equation is simple for the Seychelles: win and they have a shot at knockout qualification. Lose and the brave warriors of Namibia will surely be semi-final bound. Colin Benjamin has chosen to make 3 alterations to the starting 11 that bumped heads with Lesotho on the weekend. The spine of the team, however, is still intact. Ndisiro dons the gloves. Hambira and Kamberipa extend their centre-half partnership with Petrus just ahead and Ilago just beyond the new Cape Town City signing, wearing the number 18 this afternoon for the Brave Warriors. And the Pirates of Seychelles have revealed their defensive versatility in the last two group matches. Today, however, Jean-Louis may just stick with the implementation of a back three system against a very vibrant and fervent Namibian attack. And Ofetra Rakoto Jaona of Madagascar is the lead official and whistleblower for this match. He is supported by competent officials from Mozambique, Zambia, and of course Eswatini. Final pictures being taken. Seychelles certainly up for the challenge, as are the Namibians. This specific and special COSAFA Cup has offered so...
Don't rush. Let them not rush. No. Tell him to walk. Não, 4 horas já falou. Ok, tá bom. 80. 20 to go.
Two centre-halves very comfortable in doing so. They've done so on the biggest of stages on the African continent. And here they go again. This time it was Way Hive that did the cleaning up work for Seychelles. Kambanda, loose touch. Seychelles just simply need to calm things down for the next 5 minutes or so, get to grips with the contest and with the strengths of Namibia. So far they've done really well to flood the center of the park, have the men in red and green. Seychelles might just look to divert and escape all of the chaos in the center of the park and launch a few long balls to Labrosse and Kadeu, who have been inconspicuous so far. But things might be destined to change. Seychelles just simply need to find their feet. Mote with a long run up and a long throw for Seychelles. And so far it's Namibia that are getting the better of Seychelles when it comes to the aerial duels. Seychelles captain has done brilliantly to win that free kick, not only to keep the ball in play, cleverly invited the challenge and cleverly using his body to good effect. Karuwombe taking the bait. Here's a real opportunity for Seychelles. They won't have too many, one would suspect. They have to make these moments count. Fanchete for the Pirates. Can they steal a goal and surprise the Namibians? Fanchete goes in. Good enough ball. Just too many bodies back for Namibia, who did claim their first and only win of this tournament so far on Monday afternoon. The Brave Warriors fought off a fervent Lesotho side to capture a 2-1 victory. They may have been toothless against Angola, but they grabbed enough of their chances against Lesotho, which is why they are currently in a really good spot in Group C. It's going to be another free kick, it seems like, for the Brave Warriors. Ilago just telling Petrus to nick half a yard, half a meter. So it will be Petrus again. Just a two-man wall for him to beat. And Seychelles have adopted quite a high line, so there's a lot of space in behind for Petrus to whip this ball into and to sow the seeds of uncertainty. In fact, it's not Petrus. It's a really good ball towards the far stick. There was a slight tug of the shirt from Fanchete, Emphasis on slight, not enough for another penalty. Over the course of this tournament, Seychelles have not found it difficult to score goals, but they have found it a challenge to acquire points. Although they scored in each of their last 2 games, they still conceded first, which is exactly what has transpired here this afternoon, which is certainly far from ideal when it pertains to tournament football. The first goal is often so very important. Pariachi. Not many blue members to pick out. Bit of a wonky pass there from Fanchete to Mote, who's playing as the right wing back for Ralph Jean-Louis' side. Namibia are on the attack again. Mzeu teasing 2 Seychelles defenders. Getting a taste of his own medicine, but applying a really good press. A little bit of a tricky spot here for Seychelles to try and escape. Kadeu all over Bira on that occasion. Got another free kick to the Namibians, quietly tallying them up. And we haven't seen a whole lot from the attackers of Seychelles. And again, it's either going to be Elago or Petrus. Petrus, much flatter this time around. Partially cleared from Seychelles. Petrus will have another bite at the cherry. Another shallow delivery. Beautiful flick on. Offside though. And it looks like 2 defenders of Seychelles have come off worse. Seychelles' national setup is, for all intention purposes, Ralph Jean-Louis' second family. The coach of the Seychelles national side. And he's also coached the national team in 3 separate stints, starting in 2010. And the 55-year-old was also a regular for the Pirates in his playing days from 1990 to 2000. Here's Kasume. Big chance from Mzeu for number 2. Really good smothering stop from Pariachi this time around to keep his nation in the contest. And it looks like he didn't take it on the gloves, but rather in the stomach. Lovely through ball from Kasume. The goalkeeper just took it on the chest. Closed down the angle, which is what you're taught as a goalkeeper. And that's exactly what Pariachi did on that occasion. He'll be hoping to have a spotless and seamless goalkeeping display for the rest of this game after his clumsy mistake to grant Namibia a penalty and therefore their first goal of the game, the only goal of the game so far. And whatever happens today, Namibia are guaranteed an improved COSAFA Cup campaign compared to the previous version. In 2023 they finished rock bottom in a group that comprised of themselves, Botswana and South Africa. Here's Fanchete for Seychelles. Indicated for a long ball, instead opted to go short to Wayhive. Kadeu back to Wayhive. Seychelles can't keep a hold of it, but they might be able to produce something here. Lovely drive through the middle of that Namibian midfield. That's brilliant stuff. It's a 2v2 situation here. Museo might just go by himself. Excellent 1v1 defending to deny the number 9. A really good runner, a really good striker of the football. On that occasion he was equally matched. Kambanda. We saw a plethora of throw-ins yesterday, long throw-ins yesterday. We're seeing some more this afternoon in this clash. Unfortunate handball there for Kalula. And there was one late change in the Namibian side. Akiyenge was due to start on the bench, but he picked up a late injury. So unfortunately Colin Benjamin won't be able to bring him on in the second half. The defender by trade is Akiyenge. So there's news of a goal in the other game. Lesotho have scored against Angola, which does make things rather interesting. As for here, Seychelles need to find a response as quickly as possible in order to keep their knockout dreams alive. So the current scorelines places Seychelles at the bottom of the group. Big chance for Namibia here. They're setting up camp in the box of Seychelles. The shot comes in on the edge of the penalty area from Kasume. Just sliced off his right boot. So Angola and Seychelles have suffered an early setback in their pursuit of a semi-final spot. Up towards the halfway line again from Pariachi. Seychelles really haven't had too many entries into the half of Namibia. That's something that they really need to improve upon. Mote fouling Ilago, who was making real progress down the left-hand side. Seychelles captain was just caught out of position for a brief moment and unfortunately had to take one for the team. Another two-man wall to beat, and a few blue defenders and red attackers. Petrus. That's a nice maneuver from Namibia. Ilago. He decided to change things up, and it looks like it was going to work. Ilago's crossback just didn't find any member in red and green in the box. There was a whole host of them. They've got another opportunity now, so does Ilago. That cross is slightly overcooked. Nashikwa will do exceptionally well to keep it in, which he unfortunately doesn't from a Namibian point of view. So Group C in its current form reads Namibia first with 7 points, Lesotho are second, Angola third, and Seychelles fourth. As things currently stand, Namibia will progress as the winners of Group C, and Kenya from Group B will progress as the best runner-up. It's one back high up the field by Nashikwa. Here's Museu. Big chance for Namibia. A big chance spurned. That's lovely from Ilago. His deflected cross works out rather favorably. Kasume. Good shielding stuff. Nashikwa Back in the box, Ilago. Really good play from Namibia. Really exciting football, pinpoint football in the final third. Something that Seychelles certainly haven't been able to do. And the beauty of it all is they're keeping it rather simple. 1-2 touches, making the ball do all of the work, do all of the talking. And it was difficult, really difficult for Kalula to knot that header on from pace after Ilago's knocked down from a header as well. That's a strong header again from Hambira. Museu running with purpose. Was there a flailing arm? The linesman and the referee in agreement that there wasn't. Museu was just politely posing the question to the linesman. Half an hour in and we've only witnessed one solitary penalty kick goal scored by Museu. Here's Wayhive. That's risky stuff. Picked up by Karumbe. Play on, says the referee. We tried the dummy, did Museu. And it didn't yield anything profitable for the Namibians. Museu will pick up the first yellow card of the game. No, it's not shown to him. In fact, it's shown to Gamatis. Let's have another look, because a whole lot happened. Museu was late. And maybe Gamatis had something to say to the referee, because he certainly didn't show that yellow card for that challenge. A really late challenge, a scissor kick, in fact. So Museu lucky to escape a booking. One cannot say the same for Gamatis. The referee allowed play to continue and Namibia just couldn't make it count. Their advantage stifled. Now that's what caused the penalty kick to be awarded. Padiachi arriving late and making absolutely no contact with the ball, not only then but also with the penalty kick, Peter Shalulile style. In terms of the goal and the celebration for Museu. I'm sure Peter Shalulile will be watching this one on with great interest. We were greeted with rumours late last night that Rulani Mokoena might be leaving his role as Mamelodi Sundowns head coach. Which is rather bewildering to say the least. Nonetheless, play continues here. Something needs to start clicking for the Seychelles. Their midfield and their attack seem extremely disjointed. Petrus getting Namibia going again. Museu, a pacey forward. Not enough pace in his legs on that occasion. Petrus again. Karuwombe for Namibia. Soldiers on, keeps his feet, does Karuwombe. Ilago for the Brave Warriors, drifts past one and then two. Seychelles managed to scratch it clear. It's desperate defending at the back from the Pirates. And Ilago has played with so much vigor so far. He's chosen to be nice and direct, which is a rare commodity in the modern game. Usually coaches prefer for attackers to retain possession, and it's refreshing to see a striker, a winger, willing to take a risk, willing to be direct with a defender. It's a bit clumsy again from Fanchete. Will they be punished? Kalula for Namibia goes down the left-hand side, and Fanchete makes amends. Does, however, bring about a corner kick for Namibia. Seychelles have just been forced to do far too much defending in this half. They're only applying one side of the game. They need to be far more ambitious for the remainder of this tie if they have any wish to bombard their way through into the final four. Great delivery off the knee and just wide. Seychelles are living so dangerously, and Kambanda nearly made it to love to the Brave Warriors. It hit him more than anything else, and it was just a fraction away from nestling into that bottom left-hand corner. Pariachi goes short this time, perhaps the wiser option. Namibia always expecting a long ball from the goalkeeper. Fanchete drills one low, not enough on the drilling pass. Here's Kadeu. He's looked the most lively, most energetic of all the Seychelles attackers. And they've got a free kick here. So there really does tend to be a benefit if you string more than 3 or 4 passes together. And that's exactly what Seychelles did on that occasion. Not exactly prime piece of real estate for the free kick, but it can yield some results. Namibia do the defending, and then Hambira doing the clearing for the Brave Warriors. And just like their Namibian counterparts, Seychelles finished dead last in their COSAFA Cup group 1 year ago. They lost all 3 of their matches by an aggregate scoreline of 3-0. So they have made quite significant strides in 2024. One would suspect that it just hasn't been quite enough, so far at least. And form-wise, Seychelles blow hot and cold. When they lose, they tend to lose rather spectacularly, and when they win handsomely. Consistency is an attribute that is currently not part of their arsenal. Here's Labros. First real time that we're witnessing him down this right-hand side for Seychelles. And he's also in charge of the throw-in. And he wins it, does Labros. The referee has given a free kick to Seychelles, perhaps a late challenge on the Pirates' number 7. He's been a bit too isolated so far. His midfielders are playing too far away from him, which has forced him to go a lot deeper than he initially would have wanted to do and to be. It's always difficult for a striker if you aren't getting the sufficient service, and Labrose just hasn't had any of it. He might receive some of it now though. Reniaina will be taking this one for Seychelles. A 3-man wall to beat. There seems to be a concentration of bodies in the box, quite close to the penalty spot. Is this their moment? It goes in, and it goes out from Kamberipa. Seychelles do their best to try and recycle. It's a massive opportunity here, off the post. And Hereu has gone to ground for Seychelles. Another shot comes in from Mote. That's just the moment they needed. The moment to spark them into life. There was shouts for a penalty after that strike. Seemed like it was a high boot from Kambanda on Kadeu, and then not a bad follow-up hit from Mote. They do have a case there, do Seychelles. Unfortunately, it looks like Ralph Jean-Louis will have to make a forced change. It's been a huge clattering. Melly will have to be stretchered off. Massive collision in the penalty box of Namibia, who have been rattled for the first time in this encounter. Just shows you that a one-goal lead is quite a thin one, a very dangerous one. And there's that hit again. And then Melee is holding on to his face, indicating that Kambanda struck his face. Or did Kambanda strike the ball? It's really one or the other, penalty or not. But the referee seems like he's made up his mind. Or is this just one big giant act? Or is this real concern? Because otherwise, if it is, then Seychelles should have been awarded a penalty. It's difficult to tell from that angle. It really is. So Melee is in desperate need of some medical help, it seems like. Great hit, take nothing away from the strike. And it looks like, it does look like Kambanda got enough of the ball, although it was a high foot. It really is difficult to judge, and you really wouldn't want to be Ando Fetra Rakoto Jaona, who seems to have made the right decision. Wouldn't that have been a story? 2 penalties apiece for Namibia and Seychelles. Not to be, and that Namibia lead remains intact. Whose form preceding the current COSAFA Cup was one of a stop-start kind of nature. They stuttered quite regularly against national teams one would have expected them to defeat. And before they won on Monday, the last time the Brave Warriors obtained a victory was against Tunisia on the 16th of January in the Africa Cup of Nations, in what was a famous result for Colin Benjamin's troops. This is a serious stoppage and a medical timeout called by Meli and Seychelles. The excitement halted just for a brief moment, and it looks like Angola have been awarded penalty in the other game, and they've also scored that penalty against Lesotho. So it's 1-1 at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Another shake-up, another twist in the Group C tail. But that result, of course, has no effect on this one for the time being, unless Seychelles can force an equalizer. They'll do all the necessary concussion tests for the medical staff. A few first responders in there, mixed in with the Seychelles medical team and medical doctors. A really sumptuous strike. So that's the best that we've witnessed of the Pirates so far in this first half. Their attacks really have been few and far in between. They haven't had a whole lot to shout about. So speaking of that Rulani Mokoena news of last night, it is official now. He's left Mamelodi Sundowns. Back to this matter at hand, though. Seychelles are going to make a substitution. It is rumoured that Marcus Payet will be replacing Meli. Not exactly a like-for-like substitution, but one that could do the trick for Ralph Jean-Louis. Marcus Payet putting on his shin pads. Probably didn't suspect that he would be embroiled in a battle with Namibia so early on. Meli has been a consistent and reliable figure at the back for the Pirates. Now this does look really serious. And you do hold your breath in moments like these. So as it stands, Angola and Namibia are still the favourites to progress out of Group C. As yesterday showed, goal difference may be the deciding factor in this group. The likeliest outcome is either progression for Namibia or Angola, who just recently found an equaliser against Lesotho. The only two AFCON participants in Group C are Namibia and Seychelles, of course. And the unlikeliest outcome today would be a victory for both Lesotho and Seychelles. And just a word on Lesotho, they've been a brilliant watch during the World Cup qualifiers. Defeated Zimbabwe at the Orlando Stadium and pushed Rwanda all the way. They've really staked their claim for World Cup qualification, although it does seem like a long shot. Not only that, but also their progression into the knockouts. Same applies to Seychelles, who are going to have to turn to their bench for some answers. Players doing a good job here just to make a huddle around Meli. It is quite a sensitive situation, this one. It's unclear whether or not Meli is responsive or unresponsive. We hope that he is okay, and that it won't be a serious long-term injury. Now, because of that stoppage, the referee, the fourth official, has indicated an additional 6 minutes for this first half. And it might just be a little bit more, maybe 8 or 9 minutes. So that 6 minutes call might have been made a little bit too soon. So Seychelles have done their part to ruffle the feathers of Namibia for the first time in this encounter. And the medical staff have also done their bit to attend to Meli's knock. It might just be a mild concussion, hopefully not a severe one, for the left side centre half, Meli. So Meli is making his way off the stretcher. An unfortunate sight for the defender, and an unfortunate sight for Ralph Jean-Louis and the Greater Seychelles. And from that, Namibia have a goal kick, and Seychelles have absolutely nothing to show for their first really meaningful and menacing attempt. So Marcus Payet will come on and slot in at left centre half for Seychelles. He might just be called into action here. First contribution is often so important. The first touch of the ball, the experience of the first challenge and the first shot on goal. Might just take him a few moments to become accustomed to the Namibian style and the conditions at hand. There's Nashikwa. Easy enough this time around for Padiachi. He'll be really frustrated with himself because besides that penalty, he hasn't been made to do a lot of work or been made to make a lot of saves. Really was a gift for Namibia. A gift that they certainly did not pass down. Motte goes to ground, wins a free kick for the Seychelles, who are trying to end this first half off as best as they possibly can. Just rolled Ilago on that occasion, did Motte, putting his body between himself and the ball. It's a really good opportunity here for the Pirates. They just need to maneuver it efficiently, which they don't do. It's a waste of a chance, a waste of a free kick for the Pirates. And they'll be forced to come out for the second period with a lot more purpose to their play. They just simply haven't been brave enough, ambitious enough to challenge Ndisiro in that Namibian goal, although it could have easily equalized if it wasn't for the woodwork. But Namibia, for now, are still in control. Uncharacteristic heavy touch from Museu that time around. He's been tidy so far. And as it stands, his goal will be the winner against these two nations. And that Angolan equalizer has put Angola on 5 points, second, 2 points shy of Namibia, remember? Now, Angola and Namibia did draw in the opening clash of Group C, so it won't go down to head-to-head statistics if Angola are to defeat Lesotho. Instead, we'll have to look at the goal difference when the final whistle is blown. And if Angola score again, they'll be tied with 2 apiece when it comes to goal difference. But the secret is they have to score again against Lesotho. Museu picks it up and drives towards the heart of that Seychelles defense. No danger doing. Wayhive. One final roll of the dice in this first half then for the Seychelles. Motte. Ski ball to Fanchete, who's done well to squeeze out a ball. Motte nods it to Gamatis. Here's Hambira for Namibia. He goes to ground. There's a slip. There's a chance for the Seychelles and a challenge. A really reckless one from Kambanda. And lucky for him, it's yellow and not red. Steven Gerrard, like slip from Kamberipa. And Seychelles have probably one final chance, one final free kick. They've ended this first half far better than the manner in which they started it. We've almost played 55 minutes of football. We're not just done just yet. So there's 4 Pirates players hovering over the ball. This time 3 of them have left, leaving it to Horeu. Horeu or Labros. Fantastic hit. A stinging attempt to sting the palms of Ndisiro. So 2 really good opportunities from 2 fantastic strikes outside of the box. A corner then for the Seychelles. Wayhive. All 3 of their defenders currently on the field have played in the midfield before. So they just need to get them on the ball a little bit more often. And it's thumped clear from Hambira. And that brings the first half to a close. A first half that has had absolutely everything, from a handful of yellow cards to a goalkeeping blunder and a quite gorgeous penalty from Museu. An early penalty to give the Namibians the lead, and they've held on after Seychelles put up a serious fight in the latter stages of that first half, and they could have easily drawn level if it wasn't for the woodwork. Now the second half should be more open, should be more enterprising, but as of now Namibia have the lead against Seychelles, and they are also currently on the top of the Group C pile. So they'll be hoping for much of the same, perhaps more ruthless intent in the second half. Seychelles desperately need to turn things around. It ends after the first half, Namibia 1, Seychelles 0. And we are back at the Isaac Wilson Stadium for the second half between Namibia and Seychelles, and it's the Brave Warriors that are holding a slender advantage against Seychelles. There is news of Mele's injury. It is a spine/head injury. He was unconscious briefly, however he's awake now and being transported to a hospital as we speak, which is fantastic news. We are underway again. Namibia against Seychelles. This time it will be Namibia that will be playing downhill. Seychelles really need to dig their heels in for the second half. They ended the first, the better between the two. Just need to show a little bit more life in the final third. Museu. Here's Kasume for Namibia. Museu Kasume. Sweeping work from Wayhive. Kasume again. Room for a shot. Kasume! Not too far away. And it looks like Pariachi didn't get a fingertip to it either. There was some venom on that strike, some bite. Just not the relevant accuracy to really trouble Pariachi. He's opted to go to the left-hand side. That's a brave header from Museu. Nice touch to link up with Karuombe. There's Nashikwa. Kasume. Kasume loses out to Raherinia Ina. There's Museu again for Namibia. Going to the left-hand side. A rather industrious run was being made by Karuombe. Seychelles are matching them in the center of the park so far. They just need that one pass, that one through ball. They can unveil and produce some chaos. There's a big chance for Namibia. Kalula! That's number 2 for the Namibians. And they are on course for a place in the final 4. Terrific finish from Kalula. They've been stern, they've been stubborn, and so charming. It's been an all-encompassing performance from Namibia, and what a sumptuous hit from Kalula. Delightful run with an even better finish to top it all off. And now one would say that Namibia are in the clear against Seychelles, although a lot of football remains to be played. Namibia started like a house on fire in the second half, similar to what they managed to do in the first half. There's a monstrous hit from Kalula. Absolutely no chance whatsoever for Pariachi, who was scrambling to no avail. Now Seychelles' task has become a lot similar to a mission impossible. They need to score 3 goals in order just to have a shot at a place in the final 4. Mote, they just can't afford to crumble at the scene. Kadeu, can they respond immediately? Namibia deal with the threat. Museu, he goes to Kalula again. Powerful runner. A powerful finish on him too. Didn't work out for him on that occasion. He'll keep on coming though. And he'll continue to be a thorn on the side of the Seychelles defenders. As for Kadeu, he has tried to be exactly that for Seychelles against the Namibian defense. But he has really been the only one pushing the envelope together with Mote for Seychelles in this game. Museu keeping things really close to that touchline. Vince Fred Just needed to use the touchline as an extra defender, which they didn't do, and Namibia have been let off the hook that ever so slightly. Is Nasikwa, Bira, Kamberipa. Now the Namibians really do seem to be looking rather comfortable against Seychelles. Kasume, though everything in this tournament can change in the blink of an eye. Muzeu, delightful first touch from the number 9. And again, another brainless moment from Vince Fred. Namibia have another free kick on the 50-minute mark. Scored the opener, was well involved in the second one. Though that Kulula strike has to be one of the best goals we've seen so far at the Icicleson Stadium, all COSAFA Cup long. We saw a tremendous hit yesterday from the Mozambican captain. Muzeu takes charge of the set piece for the Brave Warriors. It is a delightful ball in, a chance to make it 3. Kariachi Wayhive tucking themselves in behind the attempt. As Marcus Payet brought on to replace Meli. Wayhive inviting the pressure of Karuwombe of Namibia. Here's Mote. Still Mote. One would think that he needs to play closer to the centre. The Seychelles captain. His impact is rather limited on the right-hand side. Ralph Jean-Louis is yet to get the very best out of him. Marcus Payet. Muzeu tightening the screw. Wayhive decided to be a lot more brave in possession. The Pirates, and that's very late from Wayhive. Namibia continue nonetheless. There's a chop back, there's a chance for Kasume, and then a hit from range again. From Petrus, who arrived late onto the scene. Saw the headlines already written. Ran onto it very nicely, caught it rather sweetly with the laces, just put too much on it, too much innovation. Muzeu loves to operate in tight spaces, attracts defenders in zones of the field which they really don't want to be attracted to. Vince Fred launches it down the line. Competent defensive work from Hambira. Neat and tidy stuff from him so far. Kasume has also grown into the contest. He's a midfielder that does tend to carry the team forwards. Sometimes you just require a brave ball carrier in the center of the park, and that's what Kasume is for Colin Benjamin. Hambira, hands on hips, with 4 Namibian players to pick out. And he spotted one of them. Muzeu will shepherd that one out and settle for a throw-in. This present match between Namibia and Seychelles is the 4th of its kind in the COSAFA Cup. The other 3 contests between the two in this tournament took place in 2013, 2015 and 2019. All 3 of those contests were group stage brawls. To this day, Seychelles are yet to experience what it's like to defeat the Brave Warriors. Tashikwa towards the front stick, puts it in there again. Much better ball second time around. Lands at the feet of Elago. Tries to use his strength and his trickery settled for a free kick, basically a corner kick. So Seychelles are very much under the pump here in the second half. One more goal and their fate will be finalized, one would think. So news from the other game is that Angola have found the lead against Lesotho, so it's 2-1 in favor of the Black Sable Antelopes. So the favourites of Group C are in charge of their respective matches. Sume. We'll just wait and see what that second goal from Angola means for the group. Namibia and Angola are 7 points, tied on 7 points apiece, which is very bad news for Kenya, who are on 6 points. So as things stand, Angola will likely progress as the best runner-up in place of Kenya, who miraculously defeated the two most successful nations the COSAFA Cup has ever seen in Zambia and Zimbabwe. Of those two nations, between them lies 13 COSAFA Cup titles. 13 from 22. They really have dominated this tournament over the years. Not this year, however. Hadiachi from out of the shadows. Here's Petrus. And then eventually away from Kambanda. Nawilago. And then the referee intervenes. Yellow card was displayed there against Wayhive, who was quite high with his challenge. Too high in the eyes of Andofetra Rakoto Jaona. Now the aggregate scoreline of this matchup over the course of past tussle reads 7 goals to Namibia and only 2 for Seychelles. That 9-2 for Namibia. Zeu tried to link up with Nashikwa. These two were paired in the same group in 2015 when Namibia captured their maiden COSAFA Cup title. That year they defeated Mozambique in the final. That rather enthralling edition. 23rd edition of the COSAFA Cup is a lot similar. Some of the big dogs are already absent, have already been eliminated from the group stage. Uzeu, lovely drop with the shoulder and then drive down the right-hand side. He really is proving to be a handful for those Pirates defenders. And one thing that he does really well at is he attracts so many bodies to him and the ball, which allows his teammates to find plenty of pockets of spaces. Really is a sign of a good player. Roseo is definitely better than good. He has a delivery on him too. This time he goes short. Doesn't receive the return ball that he so desperately craved. Here's Kasume, quick stuff from Namibia. Not convincing stuff from Seychelles. Petrus. And they collect yet another free kick to the Brave Warriors. Those Pirates defenders have been far too heavy-handed. And their discipline has let them down a tad this afternoon. Four, possibly 5-man wall here for Seychelles. one that is currently being structured and aligned by Pariachi in the goal. And there's a host of routes to the goal that Namibia can take. They can swing a ball in, or Petrus can look to whip one in towards the near post. The space is there. Petrus put too much on it and leaned back that ever so slightly, which forced the ball to cruise over the crossbar. He would have practiced those type of situations in training, although these teams haven't had a lot of time to prepare and train for their contests. Elago can't put his head to it. Desiro, very quiet afternoon for him so far. Labros commits an illegal challenge. Came from behind, tried to do so sneakishly on Kamberipa. It's a decent turn, initially from Elago. Namibia just seemed to be in control in most departments. Here's Kulula, a goal scorer, the second one for Namibia. Rumor has it that Wolf Jean-Louis will turn to his bench very shortly to introduce two new faces into this matter. One of them being the number 9, Nick Labiche. He'll replace Vince Fred, so it'll be interesting to see if he will play down the left-hand side. So Nick Labiche is on. The other change is Eli Sopa. Kamatis, he's replacing Kamatis, is Eli Sopa. So a change in the middle of the park and a change close to the pointy end of the field for Seychelles. It's not changing the momentum from Namibia. Great feed from Kulula. Not great enough. Elago falls to Kasume. Petrus, Hambira, Nashikwa, and Seychelles can construct a counter. Let's see what they can produce in the form of Kadeu. It's toothless stuff from them so far. So composed is Kasume. Not afraid to receive the ball under pressure. Mate got the nutmeg, but didn't retrieve the ball. Preceding their vital victory over Lesotho, the Brave Warriors went winless across 8 matches when they have played in South Africa. Before the goals they scored against Lesotho, Namibia last scored a goal in this country on the 5th of last month against Liberia in Orlando in a World Cup qualifier. In this tournament, they really haven't struggled or been shy in the face of the goal. Furious wave of the flag awards Seychelles a free kick. Kadeu doing the work for them. It's been a one-man attack so far for Seychelles. One-man attack that has been far too easy to deal with for Namibia. Marcus Payet. Zeu sticks in a toe, effectively so. Kasume in turn is dispossessed. Here's Nick Labiche. Misplaced throw from him. Petrus turns, faces, and escapes the Seychelles press. It's a really tough challenge to get 100% right if you're coming in from behind. You'll have to get it exactly spot on, and Labrose didn't. Pariachi gives it straight back to Namibia. Here's Pietres. Can he wave his magic wand? He's got a corner. 65 minutes have come and gone. Namibia have a 2-goal lead over the Seychelles. Yep, so as things stand, Namibia are first in the group, 7 points. Angola second, poised as the best runner-up for now. Here's Elago, not Museu this time. Shift of the responsibilities. Will it be the same outcome? And will it drop kindly for Namibia? The answer is a frank no. There's a good situation on here for the Seychelles. Elago pressed. So it appears as if Colin Benjamin is going to respond to Ralph Jean-Louis' double change with a double change of his own. Lawrence Duasep, he's the next to be introduced, as well as Edmar Ronaldo Kamatuka, the number 10. Speaking of Ronaldo, he missed a penalty the other night and then scored one in the penalty shootout against Slovenia. What can this Ronaldo produce in the COSAFA Cup? It's a naughty challenge from Mote. One that will be taken by the substitute, Edmar Ronaldo Kamatuka. Not the most indomitable wall in front of him. Kamatuka. Great ball from Kamatuka, and it almost fell to Nashigwa, who was in an offside position for Namibia. Dangerous ball in from the substitute. Got the whippage exactly right, and Kulula probably should have made better contact. Probably should have produced his second and Namibia's third of the afternoon. Pariachi. His goal kick will not suffice, and Museu will try and retrieve it and chase down Marcus Payet, which he does. Puts in a slide and commits a foul. Seychelles have not won a match on South African soil for many years. Their current run in this country is reminiscent of their displays in the first few editions of this competition in the early 2000s. Seychelles won their first ever COSAFA Cup match in the late 2000s against Mauritius. That 7-0 victory was historic because it was and still is the biggest margin of victory in the history of the COSAFA Cup. But this Seychelles outfit has been a little bit goal shy. Ball across the face of goal from Marcus Payet. Reu. His way hive already booked for that challenge just a few moments ago on Museu. This time a much simpler clearance. So far, really, Seychelles have been outclassed by Namibia, who have nullified their threats in every which way. There's Nashikwa Ina. He has his pocket picked. Balls to the right fullback again. Petrus. Good pick up from Petrus. Lovely measured pass. Museu. Cross has to be a good one. And it's just over the head of Ilago. That's been the difference between Namibia and Seychelles. They work it quickly, do the brave warriors, and then they put in an early cross into the box. Nabrose can't allow his frustration to boil over into anger, which it is currently doing so, but the striker hasn't had many opportunities. And that's a woeful ball from Fanchete. Excellent strength from Petrus, who's flung to the ground. The referee seemed to have taken his eyes off that one. Monte is absolutely charging at Karuambe. Petrus, Museu. A really good first touch. Second and third was good as well. And the cross, magnificent. Ilago, still Ilago. The referee indicated that he spotted a handball. We'll have to see that one again on the highlight reel. It's just over there. No arguments from Ilago. Less than 20 minutes to go of regulation time. Seychelles appear to be demonstrating this defeatist mentality, not really putting up a fight. They are defending with their lives, but it doesn't really seem like they want to construct anything meaningful in the final third. And they're having a lot to say to the referee from Madagascar. That penalty shout in the first half will probably be a big talking point. But other than that, Namibia really have bossed this matter. Wayhive. Referee spotted something. Not too sure what it was. The Namibian ball again. Seychelles have been so incredibly wasteful. And the Seychelles have also really had a grueling 18 months. 18 months in which they've needed to conduct a lot of introspection. In the lead up to this regional tournament, Seychelles shipped in 3 goals against Burundi, 5 against Gambia, 9 against Cote d'Ivoire. Across those matches, they only managed to score 2 goals. 2 goals across those 5 forgettable matches. This is another forgettable one for them. Kadeu thought that he might have had an opportunity. Namibia are so intelligent at the back. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly where their weaknesses lie. They seem to be quite a cohesive unit, both in defense and attack. Before this clash took place, Namibia did have a serious propensity for draws, which is certainly not the worst thing in the world. Of their last 15 duels in various competitions, Namibia have shared the spoils of victory on 9 separate occasions. Not sharing anything this afternoon. possession too. Mote tried to slow things down from a Namibian point of view, which is incredibly difficult to do if you have your midfielders fit and firing and close to the peak of their powers, that being Kasume and Petrus and Karuwambe. Arguably the best performing midfield of the COSAFA Cup tournament so far. The best I've seen, at least. There's Kambanda. Final quarter remains in this tie. And Namibia really are in cruise control against the Pirates. Here's a throw from Karuwambe. Wehab is there for Seychelles. So we're going to see two more substitutes implemented by Colin Benjamin. Nduweyema, 14, set to replace Kalula, who scored a beauty of a goal. And his fellow substitute partner, Haidula, will also be introduced. So it's a chance for the players on the outskirts to stake their claim for a starting place, starting berth in the semi-final. So the winners of Group A, which is Mozambique, they are bound to meet and play against Angola, who are currently placed as the best runner-up. As for Namibia, they'll meet Comoros in the semi-finals. Might change, let's wait and see. The result here is pretty much secured for Namibia. As for the one between Angola and Lesotho, Black Sable Antelopes just have that one goal lead over Likwena. Mote spins. It doesn't spin effectively. Namibia can try and wrap things up here. Bit of a slow start there from Nduyema. Here goes Labros. Watched and out-muscled from Hambira. But not doing so within the laws of the game, according to Ando Fetra Rakota Joona. Nick Labiche. Nice ball from Labiche. Chance for the Seychelles. And the whistle going again and denying them of another goal. Desiro just asking for a little bit more calm. Namibia would definitely not want to panic. There's Ndisiro. Puts his boot through that one. Towards the substitute, Haidula. So with the result secured, Colin Benjamin can examine the talent that has been on his bench for the most part of this 23rd edition of the COSAFA Cup. Just before this rather pulsating COSAFA Cup tournament kicked off, Namibia and the Seychelles were embroiled in World Cup qualifiers. Pirates of Seychelles have lost all 4 of their qualifiers and they look destined to finish last in their group, which is currently being controlled by Côte d'Ivoire. As for Namibia, they have a serious shot of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the Americas. They are currently just 2 points shy of Tunisia, who are first in their group. 10 African nations will be going to the United States of America, Canada and Mexico. Will Namibia be part of those 10? And And will Namibia claim COSAFA Cup glory and wrap this one up? Nashikwa. Here's Petrus. Still Petrus. Karuombe keeps the move alive for the Brave Warriors. This is great stuff from Petrus and Namibia, adding insult to injury for the Seychelles. Museu! And it's a goal! It almost took an eternity. Favourable bounce, and it is looped into the back of the net. That's that. The kiss of death. The kick of death for Museu. A clumsy mistake by Marcus Payet, capitalized to the fullest extent by Museu, who has been the ultimate punisher for Namibia. The ultimate punisher at this year's COSAFA Cup. And another tribute to Peter Shalulile. No Peter Shalulile, no problem whatsoever. That's 3-0 now to the Namibians. It's been a hard and turgid performance for the Seychelles. We'll go back to the cluster of islands and rethink and replan before next year's edition. Another sloppy giveaway. Kamatuka stole it. Museu. Here's Petrus. Referee spotting that foul on Lawrence Doseeb. This is the ideal situation for Namibia. They've finished their group campaign off in good style. Talk about style, look at that footwork from the substitute Ndeuema. But unfortunately for him, he won't even get a corner kick to attack. Instead, it's just a simple goal kick for the Seychelles and Pariachi. Petrus, delicious ball again. Karuombe. No foul. Nonetheless, Namibia push on. It won't deter them. Karuombe. This time, he blows his whistle. And a chance for yet another substitution for Namibia. It's been a classy display from them. Arend Abubakir. He replaces Kamberipa. So this current scoreline, if it remains unchanged or if it is added on, is the biggest winning margin we've seen so far at the COSAFA Cup tournament. 3-0 in favour of Namibia, who have unleashed a demolition campaign on Seychelles. Museu punched clear from Bariachi. It's in again into the mix. Out by Hureu, not very far away. A lot of substitutes on the field now for Namibia, but there still seems to be more than enough chemistry within their ranks. Here's Kamatuka. Petrus. Ndeuema. drops to the number 7, Lawrence Duaseb. Kamatuka. Museu was his wish. Now the early exit of Bafana Bafana, Zimbabwe and Zambia have afforded a real opportunity for an unlikely winner of the COSAFA Cup to surface. The last time a nation outside of the region's big three won this tournament was Namibia, in fact, in 2015. And before that, Angola, all the way back in 2004. Those two are destined for the Final Four. Might they reunite in Sunday's grand finale? Thrown taken rather quickly by Nick Labachi. Doaseb. Nashikwa. Pietrus. Really does the unseen work. So Museu will obviously grab the headlines. Kalula too. That's a really good ball. Museu with chance for a hat-trick for him. He spurns it, it's still there for Namibia. Museu, he cooks it over. That should have been his hat-trick. The first of this year's COSAFA Cup tournament, not to be for Namibia's number 9. Great run initially, the bounce just putting him off that ever so slightly. The move was kept alive and it dropped to him. And he really should have stuck it away. So Angola have wrapped things up against Lesotho, leading that one by 3-1. They've scored 2 penalties in that match. Here's a chance though for Seychelles for a consolation, or perhaps a very, very late comeback. Namibia can't afford to panic. It might be a little bit too late. It probably is a little bit too late. But after a tough afternoon for Labrose, he has tucked one away for the Pirates. So consolation or cunning comeback. They really do need to start throwing haymakers now, Seychelles. It's a lovely take. And here they go. Can they produce a second? The pass option was on in the center. Stefano Ladueche was making a really good run. But the cross comes to his flank. There's an opportunity for him and Seychelles. They've just left it too late. The fight is still in their system, which is a good sign. Less than 2 minutes to go of normal time in this final match at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium. Now the other game at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium between Lesotho and Angola has just wrapped up. Angola doing the business and securing qualification into the knockouts. Namibia just a few minutes away from doing so themselves. So Angola will progress instead of Kenya. And your heart really does break for Kenya, who broke the hearts of Zimbabwe and Zambia. No reward for defeating the Giants. One would say that they've done a real big favor to the teams that remain in this tournament to kick out Zambia and Zimbabwe. Back here though, Seychelles have a corner, an outswinger, one that's effortlessly cleared by Shapwa, Haidula Shapwa. And that shot lacked any real intent. from Marcus Payet, who unfortunately committed that defensive howler to allow Museu to tally up his second, and he might still have an opportunity to capture a hat-trick here this afternoon. Three minutes to go, 3 minutes for Seychelles to somehow find 2 goals. If they do that, Kenya will progress, but looks impossible as things currently stand. Namibia have been a really good watch this afternoon. Flawless in many parts of their game, especially in the attack. Pariachi in no man's land. Chance to wrap things up in style. And it's hit the side netting, not the back of the net. He's looked good since his introduction, has Nduyanyema. So just 120 seconds left of this clash between Namibia and Seychelles. The Seychelles would have come into this one with so much hope, but their dreams of a knockout place have been emphatically dashed by Namibia. And the much anticipated Final Four stage will grab the local football headlines again on Friday afternoon. Semi-final number 1 scheduled for a 3 p.m. kickoff, and semi-final number 2 will kick off shortly after at 6 p.m. Both of those matches will take place at the world-class facility that is the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. And the winner of this famous old tournament will be revealed on Sunday evening after the curtain raiser or bronze medal match at 2 o'clock. A whole lot needs to happen before then. Dreams need to be made, and hearts will unfortunately have to be broken before a winner is announced. One more consolation perhaps for the Seychelles. And on the topic of Sunday evening's final, all the other finals that came before have always been nearly impossible to predict, and the matches themselves were beyond nerve-wracking. Here's lacrosse. Can they take one more goal? Back to Seychelles. Motse. The last 4 COSAFA Cup finals have either been won by 1 goal or a penalty shootout, so expect drama Sunday night. However, the finals between 2008 and 2018 were fraught with goals. Museu. Really good pass from Museu. Here goes Karuombe. And Andu Fetra Kokoto Joana blows his final whistle. And that is that for the Seychelles. Their adventure reaches a dead end. They put up a valiant effort, but it just wasn't enough against a classy, cunning and ruthless Namibian outfit, with lethal attackers in their ranks. Museu scoring a brace for the Brave Warriors this afternoon. Colin Benjamin will be over the moon with this performance. Let's not forget to mention that strike from the heavens from Kolula, the second of the day. And by then, the Seychelles were already beaten. Labrosse did, however, clinch a consolation for the Pirates. Gave it a good old go. They've improved when you compare their past COSAFA Cups records, but they're just a few yards shy. There's levels to this game, and Namibia can progress all the way to the finals. They might even claim the title come Sunday night. But do stay tuned for those pulsating knockout matches. The final group game at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium reads Namibia 3, Seychelles just the 1.
Well, with us right now is Walter Mando, who is a COSAFA Exco member, standing with the man with the brace. This is from Namibia. He's the player of the match, Museu. Museu, congratulations. It looked like you wanted a hat-trick. Let me know as to how this match was for you.
First of all, we thank the Almighty above us. So, yeah, obviously I wanted the hat-trick. Yeah, so, but all in all, I played and scored 2 goals, so I'm grateful for that.
Let me know as to what was the conversation between you and your teammates. Obviously, at halftime, you guys were leading, but knowing that you should win this game, should you to progress within the competition.
We wasted the chance we got first half, so we went back there, and the coach told us that we need to score goals for us to go forward, because they can come back anytime. So that's what we did. We came back and then fixed our mistake. We got 2 goals, and we are grateful for.
And finally, let me know about the team work within the squad. Obviously, it looked like the players on the bench also were cheering you guys on throughout the entire match.
It's not about individual, it's a teamwork. And if they have our back, why we are not afraid of anything. So I'm grateful and I'm happy for that. I got the man of the match, and thank you so much.
Well spoken, like a brave warrior yourself. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That is Museu, who is the number 9, the man with the brace today. Obviously, now let's have a conversation with his head coach. Coach Benjamin, is this exactly the display that you wanted?
Yeah, I think we have to be good with the 3 points, the win. Of course, it can always be better, and but at the moment with tournament football, it's fine. We move.
Let's talk about the positives from this encounter. What did you pick up that we will be keeping going into the next round?
I think the young boys that they got a chance, they brought in a little bit of life, wanting to play the ball, but also at the score of 3-0, it's kind of like a little bit easy. So the playing time that they got, I think that's the positive, and I think for us to score 3 goals, that's really a good thing, and obviously that builds confidence, and the confidence is what we need going into the next matches.
The confidence is what you need, but also this gave you an opportunity to do some squad rotation. From the substitutions that you made, did you get exactly what it was that you're looking for?
I can always get better. The coach is never happy.
And finally, Coach, let me know, the next round, this is exactly what you wanted. What do you look forward to improving within your team?
Yeah, I think obviously the phases of game possession, when we have the ball, I think we couldn't really get solutions to the physical good defensive strategy that Seychelles had. So that's something that we have to work on when we have the ball. How do we actually unlock these defenses that's rigid and that's organized like Seychelles had? So in the next games, that's what we have to look at. And obviously the transitions, losing the ball, running, going backwards, has to have more urgency in that, and the set pieces. We're forever struggling with that. But yeah, we love to fight another day. I think we've got 2 games now that we need to play, and then prepare these boys. In the end, capacity building, widening the scope and the scope of the Brave Warriors, so that we have more players that can compete at this level. And I think this is exactly what we want from this tournament.
Well, Coach, congratulations. See you in the next round. That is Coach Benjamin. Let's have now with a conversation with Coach Louis. Coach, I want to know, what was your assessment of this match in your perspective?
Anyway, I think in the first half, the penalty changed the course of the match. We could have also received the penalty, and it did not went our way. We went out 1-0, but our game plan did not work today. We were limited in terms of space and time on the ball. But at the end, I think we are happy. We've managed to score in all 3 matches, and this is a good thing to go on and take lessons learned from that.
Coach, you talk about that penalty that you believe you should have gotten. This is obviously with the omission of Nelly. Did that change the structure of the team?
It did, yes, because we had to make an early change, and as you know, this disrupt our game plan. Unfortunately, it's a bad injury, and we hope he'll get well soon.
Coach, what are the positives that you'll take from this? Obviously knowing that football within the island is growing.
Anyway, like I said, the goals we've scored, this will give the players confidence, and we've seen over the last 3 matches that we've been doing a lot of runnings, and eventually our passing also would get better, and this will help the team to grow.
Well, coach, hard luck and better luck next time.
Thank you.